losing streak. Over in Philly, it's the start of a new era. But against the #1 D, will the headlines read Jalen helps or Jalen hurts? Plus, a Thursday night game plan for Cam against Bam. And a Hall of Fame take on the game of the week. What Kurt Warner's watching for the Ravens and Browns. This is day 1 of week 14. This is NFL Total Access. Week 13 wrapped yesterday, and we already have a game in the next 24 hours. Welcome to NFL Total Access. I'm MJ Acosta-Ruiz. The season comes at you fast. We're already on to week 14. Do you remember when the Ravens and Browns met for the first time at the start of the season? We do. That's why their second meeting is our Total Access game of the week. Our Hall of Famer QB Kurt Warner is here to take us through his top quarterback storylines for this week. But we start with a big showdown in the AFC.
Touchdown over the middle. Deontay Johnson. Josh going to throw it behind him. DePiece going to throw it again to a man wide open. Touchdown. People have been asking, where's Minka Fitzpatrick? Baker Mayfield just found out. He's going to keep it himself into the end zone. Chase Claypool with a diving grab for a touchdown. Touchdown. Stephon Diggs somehow brought it in. T.J. Watt gets home. Big rush. He's hit. He's sacked. Picked off by Micah Hyde. Walking to the end zone is Juju Smith. Is intercepted by Tre'Davious White. Amazing. Derek Ebron. He was Dumbo the Flying Elephant. A 5-yard touchdown throw to Cole Beasley. That's Joe Hayden into the end zone. This is Buffalo Bills football.
Ah, yes, the AFC playoff picture, where the no longer undefeated Steelers remain as the 1 seed. Their Week 14 opponents, the Bills, are the 3 seed. Both teams are among the NFL's top scoring offenses. Kim Jones knows all about this matchup.
Another big game for the Bills as the Steelers visit Orchard Park on Sunday. I promise you this. Bills coach Sean McDermott would take a repeat performance from Josh Allen from exactly what he did Monday night in defeating the 49ers.
Just from his command, his control, I thought he spread the ball around when there was opportunities to spread the ball around. He let the game come to him, probably the best way I could say it, and I think that's what the really good ones do. And so I just think he's headed in the right direction, and whenever you can take care of the ball and play clean football, you're doing something right there at that position. He did that last night.
Couple more things about Josh Allen. Number 1, he says he works so hard because he never wants to let down anyone in the Bills organization, which traded up to draft him. And number 2, don't look now, but he's a 70% passer this season.
All right, y'all better listen to Kim Jones. Willie and Shaun O'Hare with me. Now, Willie, you remember we were live during the back end of that Washington and Steelers game. And I remember you and Mooch talking about how the Steelers looked like the roughest looking undefeated team in terms of really how they had been winning those games the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to pose this question to both of you, but Willie, please start us off here.
Okay.
How can the Steelers avoid taking back-to-back losses?
Well, they got to get back on track. And to be honest, I don't think they avoid this loss coming to the Bills. I know Bills Mafia, just relax. I'm on the bandwagon now for 1 week. But I'm just saying that if you look at the Steelers, Ben's got to take care of the football, okay? 3 interceptions over the last 3 weeks. The other thing that is bad for the Pittsburgh Steelers, they haven't been able to run the football effectively since week 7. They're last in the NFL, only averaging 61 yards a game rushing the football. You got to have balance. You can't depend solely on the passing game. And if you know about the Pittsburgh Steelers, they've always been able to control the trenches and run the ball effectively. They haven't been doing that. And guess what? On the other side of the ball, guess who's playing MVP style? Josh Allen. He is moving the pocket. He is throwing the ball accurately down the football field. He had 4 touchdowns last week, none to Stephon Diggs, which means he's spreading the ball around. I always talk about Brian Daboll, the offensive coordinator. He does a great job of mixing up the personnel groups, the different formations, keeping defenses off balance. Josh Allen is not only just taking off running, now he's running to throw the football, keeping his eyes down the field, making key accurate throws in tight windows. I love what I'm seeing from this offense. I love what the defense is doing. The Bills are a dangerous team. Okay, you guys heard it. Bills Mafia. I'm giving you props. You guys are a dangerous team.
It was rough for us the other night.
It was. What happened to San Fran? But anyway, that's a different story.
Go ahead, Shaun. Go ahead.
Oh, Willie Mack, it's good to see you, my Irish brother. MJ, as always, great to see you too. And I know it pained you to give the Buffalo Bills, your former AFC East foe, props like that. But look, Josh Allen's been playing phenomenal.
Yes.
His defense played a lot better with Milano back out there. And look, when you're scoring 34 points at will, that makes them a tough out. Here's the thing about the NFL. I've always felt like it's not always who you play, but when you play them. Listen, I don't want to play the Pittsburgh Steelers right now because they are ticked off. Mike Tomlin is ticked off. He's going straight Mr. T. All right, I pity the fool. All right, he is fed up with the miscues. Anybody that watched that game saw the drop passes. All right, they go for on 4th and 1. They're on the goal line, 1st and goal on the 1-yard line, and they can't get in. This is the kind of stuff, this is not Pittsburgh Steeler football. This can't happen. These routine plays need to be routine, to quote Mr. T. But no doubt, he's taking a piece out of there. You know what? This whole week in practice, these Steelers are going to be fired up. Watching this film is going to be painful for them as they sit there and watch drop after drop. Ebron had 3. The receivers, it's bouncing off their hands. Deontay Johnson dropped the football. And then when you go in there on offense and you look at the fact that you had it on 1st and goal on the 1-yard line and you had 4 chances to punch it in and you couldn't get it done, that's going to sting. So this Steelers defense, I think they're going to be fired up. I remember when we won the Super Bowl in 2007, 2008, we started out 4-0. We went up to Cleveland. We laid a goose egg. We got thumped on Monday Night Football, and it kind of woke us up a little bit. Like, all right, you're not as good as your record is. Look, you're not invincible. We got back on track, and we ended up going 11-1, winning 7 straight after that. So I think that's a good reset for the Steelers. This is going to be a tough physical game, and this game means a heck of a lot more in the AFC picture than last week's game against Washington.
And Shaun, it hasn't been 1 week. It's been 2 weeks in a row because Tomlin was mad the week before after the win that they were playing sloppy football.
It's monotone.
Right, and it's week 14. So we're in playoff mode now. Yeah. It's not, we don't have like 8 weeks to get going.
I expect a lot of pain.
Listen, guys, we heard from the amazing Tim Jones over there, more so on the Bill side, but I was texting with Aditi Kinkhabwala, who, of course, covers their Steelers consistently day to day, and she was telling me there's no wallowing over here in Pittsburgh, which we didn't expect, of course. But she knows, to her point, that they got to get focused or the Bills are going to have their way with them. So we already know what to expect. It's going to be gritty. It's going to be a battle. All right, guys, thanks.
It's 4th and 18 from the Green Bay 32. Let's see what they do here. Hurts is rolling. He's looking. He puts it in the air. Touchdown, Greg Ward. What a throw and what a catch. Give some credit for the sportsmanship of Carson Wentz, who was applauding that on the sideline.
Here's a look at the current NFC playoff picture. The Eagles not in the frame of this photo, I'm afraid. Can Jalen Hurts now give the Eagles that spark, even though that division has turned into more of a Washington Giants race at this point? But the Eagles, of course, facing the top seed there with the Saints, who have already clinched a playoff berth. So let's bring in our Hall of Fame quarterback, Kurt Warner, to get into this discussion. First, Kurt, great minds. We did not plan to match, but I love when this happens. And Kurt, of course, Doug Peterson announcing that Jalen Hurts will be making his first NFL start against the Saints in Week 14. What are your expectations here?
Well, from one side of it, you look at this and go, man, what a great game to start with, right, against a defense that has been playing lights out. But you can look at it the other side. It's a great chance to make a quality first impression if you can go out and do some things against this Saints defense the way they're playing. But there's 2 things that I look at here. Is first, Jalen Hurts is going to have to get the ball out of his hands quickly. He's going to have to see defenses and run the offense first. I know he loves to create buy time, as we're seeing on the screen right now, but you can't live in that world against this Saints defense. So you got to manage the game first, see things, make quick reads. Can he do that at this level? And then there are going to be times with that defensive front and how they get after you where you're going to have to escape and use your legs in other ways, whether it's running for first downs or buying time to make those big plays down the field. So those are 2 things that he is going to have to do extremely well if they're going to have a chance against this great Saints team.
By the way, Kurt, Doug Peterson saying that Jalen Hurts can be an exceptional quarterback in the NFL. As you so eloquently put it, this is a great way to start that off and make a good impression against the New Orleans Saints. So no pressure there for Jalen. All right, Kurt, stick around. We want to get your top 3 quarterback storylines of Week 14.
Ravens at 6-5, Cowboys at 3-8, and we are underway at 4th and 2. Jackson in the pistol. He'll keep it. Runs up the middle. Big hole. 30, 20. Nobody there. Lamar Jackson 10-5. Touchdown Ravens.
Dalton's pass tipped and intercepted on a deflection.
Patrick Queen comes up with it. Jackson with a play action. Fires to a wide open Miles Boykin at the 15. 10-5. Touchdown. Jackson fires to the end zone. Back corner over the shoulder catch. Touchdown Ravens. What a throw and catch. Lamar Jackson to Hollywood Brown.
There's one person we have yet to see so far in this show, and it's my good friend James Jones, who's joining me now. James, come on in, my friend. Good to see you there. Remember that most of us, I believe you did too, correct me if I'm wrong, had the Ravens beating the Cowboys in that final game, and we were correct. However, you have a much brighter outlook for Dallas for the rest of the season, especially with the bizarre nature of the NFC East this year.
Absolutely. And Cowboys fans, I sit here and tell you, man, your glass is half full. And the reason why I say that is Andy Dalton is starting to play well. He has command of the offense. I mean, the Baltimore Ravens did nothing last night to slow this team down. They had one tip pass on a turnover, and that's it. But other than that, the Cowboys, every single time they got the football, they were moving the ball down the field at will. Did they miss some field goals? Did they stall in the red zone a little bit? Yes, but this offense is starting to get going. Andy Dalton has full command of it. And I feel like with this division, this is the best offense in the division. I feel like they are going to get cooking and they are going to make some noise. And with the schedule, if you look at the schedule of the Washington football team, of the New York Giants, and of the Dallas Cowboys really have the easiest schedule. They can win out. And I'm going to say it again, the Dallas Cowboys can win out. The New York Giants and the Washington football team have a chance to possibly lose out. So I'm telling you, Cowboy fans, your glass is half full. You still have an opportunity, and I believe that you are going to still find a way to win this division. And like I said, the reason why is because you have Andy Dalton under the center with full command of this offense.
James, I know some people at home might be like, really, JJ? Like, that's a little stretch. But we've heard some, I will say, bold predictions from you throughout this season. And let me tell you something about this man right here. He tends to hit them more often than not lately. So I'm going to keep my mind open on this one, JJ.